Hello everybody and welcome to XBOW, currently taking place this weekend at the International Circuit of the Saloniki. With Wolf Landry departing from the series, the championship is now open to a great battle between Robloxian and Andri. This race is surely is going to be exciting, so we have a lot of action packed for today. Currently we are watching Andri, who is actually P2 in the championship. They're currently battling Robloxian for that P1 in their championship, so here's one of the title contenders of today. Now, Niorna actually currently has the fastest time in qualifying, only 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, but they are P3 in the championship, so if they get a good amount of points today, they could go up and they could actually overpass Andri and take that P2 position. Now currently watching Apollo, team owner, and also a driver for his own team. We don't see much of that today, but it's always good to see. Going pretty wide right there. But Apollo Struck is currently in P8 with a 1 minute 37.330. 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Andrew just did a hot lap right there, but it does not look like he improved his time with that green sector 1. Here's B Guys, who hasn't had any luck at all this season, actually holding a pretty good position right now in P10. But just as I say that, it looks like Sky of SDS has just taken that. Another driver who we've seen in contending for the championship is Ben. I believe he got a podium, not the last, well, I believe he got a podium in one of the recent races, which has definitely helps him in the championship. So here's the current lineup. It looks like Niorna is still holding that P1 with a 135. Andri in P2, both of them in the same team. And we have P3, Mr. Cowpox, with a 136, so a full 1 second ahead behind Niorna. Niorna with the purple sector 1. This could be a new personal best at the track. And it looks like the real Body Boy has jumped all the way up to P2 with 3 green sectors. Very impressive from him as he beats Andre to the P2 spot for now. Niorna with a yellow sector 2 looks like he lost that consistency right there. There's still a chance he could beat his personal best though. Only 3 minutes left in the session. Trooper looked like he had a promising lap, but it does not look like he actually completed it all. And Niorna just beat his personal best. He had a purple sector 1, yellow sector 2, but he pulled, like he did manage to beat that time with the purple sector 3. Here we are on board with B Guys, who has jumped up to P8 as we've seen. He was in P11 earlier today. But now only 1 minute left in the qualifying session for Expo in Greece. Niorna still holding that provisional pole right there, with the real Body Boy currently in P2 following right behind him. Eight seconds now remaining in the qualifying session. It looks like Niorna will pull out with that pole. Definitely going to help him in his chances of getting another win, or just a win in the Expos. So there is your qualifying session for today. It does not look like any more people are going to improve on their laps. Not much. I don't think there's anyone out on the track anymore. So there you have it. Niorna with a pole position for today's sprint race. Andrew taking home the P3. Oh, and just as I say that, the real body boy comes back, takes that pole away from Niorna. The real body boy is now... And that will heavily benefit him in this race. So very exciting qualifying we have today. Just as we thought Niorna was going to have pole position, real body boy just took it away from him. So now we have the amount of laps and the laps for the sprint and the feature race. Sprint race will be 9 laps and the feature race will be 19. So it looks like the drivers are just about to be finished with lining up on the grid. There's your qualifying right there. So now the personnel are being asked to get off the track. That now means that the lights will be going out very shortly. So just waiting for the lights to start lighting up. So 9 laps here in Greece. Many drivers fighting for that championship position. Just waiting for those lights to start turning on. So now we're being told to watch the lights. It should be starting on, and they are. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights. And a very long wait right there, but now the drivers are off. The lights are out. It is now race time. Niorna holding that P1 right there. But it looks like the real body boy is right behind him. Going into the first few turns. It looks like Noble got a purple sector 1 right there. But the real body boy is still trailing right behind Niorna with only a 300th of a second gap. And the real body boy went a bit wide right there. That's definitely not going to help him in his chase for P1. But he already caught up to Niorna. He's right behind him again. But Niorna has 2 purple sectors. Coming into the final turns now. And Niorna, with those 3 purple sectors, gets the fastest lap of the race. Niorna now 500ths of a second behind, and Andrew in P3 a whole 1.6 seconds behind the leader Niorna. So Niorna, who's currently P4 in the standings, I believe, if he wins this race, he can definitely catch up to Andrew's position. Or close the gap. Here we are currently watching Destructively, who is shown to have some good races in the past. Currently following behind that, behind Mr. Cowpox driving the Rockstar car. And also apologies for the camera to anyone watching. It looks like we have some glitches currently with the spectating system. Niorna getting a new personal best and a new fastest lap for this sprint race. But it looks like the real Body Boy really dropped back. That's now a 1.4 second gap between him and Niorna. So I wonder what happened there. And collision should turn on very shortly. It looks like it's already red flag. That may mean that collisions are actually already on. So here we currently are watching the Mad Gamer following his teammate B-Guys. Here we are on board with Andrew, another driver fighting for that championship position. 4.4 seconds behind Niorna. It actually doesn't look like Andrew is not too far off from the real Body Boy. The real Body Boy did have pole position, but he's dropped back to P2 now. So currently 5 laps out of 9 laps. Does not look like there has been any major collisions or accidents on the track so far. Niorna is holding that P1 position and the fastest lap of the race. Just as I say that, he just gets a purple Sector 1. The real body boy who's currently P2, who was following him earlier, is now dropped very far behind Niorna. Here we are on board with Apollo Circuit, and as I say that, I see a car who is flipped over right there. I'm not sure who that was, but a car just hit the bumps right there. Oh, and there's a Apollo. Oh, there's a McLaren on the track. There's a McLaren who was stuck on the track that looked like it was Tyler. Tyler Morgan. Looks like he crashed and he was just stuck on the track right there. Looks like he caused a few more collisions with drivers who were right behind him. So there's actually a pretty close battle between Tyler and Waffles. They're coming pretty close to each other. We could see a collision if anything goes wrong. Here is Noble 6 Lives. Looks like he was battling another driver. I believe that was AZ7 who he was battling with. And as I say that, AZ, who was right behind him, just spun a little bit, but luckily he saved the car. But that has given the guys enough time to catch up. So Niorna is still holding that P1 position ahead of the real body boy by 8.6 seconds. A very good gap to win the race. If he can just maintain a steady racing line with no mistakes, he can definitely win this race. Oh, and as I say that, oh, there's a crash. I'm not sure who that was, but on the main straight, it was between, oh, the real body boy and Martin Aviation. The real body boy is dropped back to P3 now because of that. Because of a back marker who was stuck on the track. Oh, and another car has just spun. Luckily they saved that one, but that's B guys going very slow on the main straight. So lots of drama happening on this main straight right now. And it looks like there's a crash in the final turns. That looks like Sky of SDS. He made contact with another car right there. I'm not sure who he made contact with, but he's dropped back all the way to P16. A lot of collisions happening near the main straight right now. Here we are on board with clearly Gareth, who just had a bit of contact with the driver in front of him. Oh, and it looks like clearly Gareth just hit someone, and he's caused contact with another driver right there. Clearly Gareth was... Looks like he crashed into someone, and then he caused another crash right there. But it looks like Niorna has just won the race. P1 for Niorna, with Andre and P2 right now, coming right across the finish line right now. It was 16.3 seconds behind Niorna. This may be a new... Niorna seems to have a promising race right now, and it looks like he can have a promising championship lead. Oh, and it looks like the real body boy just hit a wall right there on the main straight. Although he had pole position in qualifying, it did not look like he has had a good sprint race. So it didn't seem as if there was a lot of collisions in the beginning of the race, but right at the end, it seems as if there's just been a over and over. So now the drivers in the back of the field, they're just crossing the line right now. Oh, and it looks like the Sky didn't even... It didn't even look like Sky crossed the line yet, and he's caused a few collisions. He's just sitting in the main straight right now. Now he's got going. It looks like there was a car flipped right there too. But there you have it. That is your race for today. Now we're gonna move on to the feature race, which will start shortly. So once again, for those who do not know how a feature race works, it is basically a reverse grid from the sprint race, meaning Niorna, who won the race, will be starting in the back of the field. The drivers are just lining up on the grid. The race should start very shortly. So it looks like Apollo Struck will be starting in P1 for the feature race. Number 43 for his own team, Apollo Motorsports. Just a few more drivers to line up on the grid until we start this race. All personnel are now being asked to get off the track. Everyone now has jumped out of their cars and back in. The race should start very shortly. The drivers are now being told to watch the lights. 2 lights are on, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And just like that, the lights are out once again. It looks like we had a huge lag spike right there. Lots of... Oh, and a car has already flipped in the first turn. I believe that was... I'm not sure who that was. But a car has flipped in the first turn of the race. Looks like many people are going wide, and another car just ran into someone. I believe that was Martin Aviation running into the back of someone, causing them to stop right in their tracks. Mr. Cowpox currently leading the race, but JC Jazz is right behind him with only 0.78 seconds behind. Oh, and it looks like a car that looks to be destructively ran into someone. And it looks like he's lost a lot of time right there. He was flipped all the way backwards. Here are the drivers coming into the main straight right now. Oh, and it looks like there's someone spun. That's Niorna. It looks like Tyler Morgan in the McLaren went a bit wide right there in his battle against... It looks like Tyler Morgan actually has the fastest lap right now, but that may be taken away from him if the real body boy can knock this sector 3 out of the park. And the real body boy now has the fastest lap. 3 purple sectors. Here we are on board with B guys, currently battling Tyler and JC Jet. Neorna, the winner of the sprint race that we just had, is currently in P7, while the real body boy is in P1 right now. This may be the real body boy's race. Some sort of redemption he could have. Here's the real body boy battling Mr. Cowpox on the main straight right now. Going into the first turn, looks like the Mr. Cowpox is gaining on him by a lot. He's now dropped it down to a .66 gap. Mr. Cowpox definitely has the chance to win this race. Oh, it looks like a McLaren spun right there. I'm not sure who that was. It looks... And as I say that, Mr. Cowpox has gained the lead of the race. Real Body Boy now in P2. It looks like the Real Body Boy did take that P1 back. He's still battling Mr. Cowpox. It's very close right now. is very close between Mr. Cowpox and Real Body Boy. It may seem like they're very far apart at some times, but then next thing you know, they're right next to each other again. Very close battling that we love to see here. Looks like Mr. Cowpox is now finally backing off from the Real Body Boy. 1.1 second gap between him. Here is Niorna with the green sector 1 right there. Currently battling Andrew right now. Two title contenders fighting for that P2 position in the championship. This will be a good battle. Oh, that was Niorna who just went into the wall right there. Niorna has gone into the wall right before the main straight. Niorna, with all that luck in the last race, seems to have none right now. In the battle for P1, it looks like the Real Body Boy is actually getting pretty lucky now, as he has a 3-second gap between him and Mr. Cowpox. It looks like Niorna is getting closer to Noble, who is in P6 right now. So maybe another battle on the track. B-Guys is currently catching up to the Apollo struck. Only a second gap between him and Apollo. Oh, and B-Guys has passed Apollo right there. Andrew may have a chance at a podium position right now. Currently catching up to JC Jazz. Only around a 2-second gap between those drivers. Oh, and it looks like... Was that Niorna? No, that was not Niorna. That was Andrew. Andrew went into the wall right there. He's lost that P4 position now. Not good at all for Andrew right now. If he's going to get up to the podium, there has to be a miracle to happen for him. Tyler Morgan currently going into the pits. And it looks like Tyler is putting on the soft tire compound right now. Looks like he's the only driver to pit at the moment. Oh, and just as I say that, B-Guys and Apollo Struck go into the pits. Both of them putting on the soft tire compound. Apollo Struck's teammate clearly is also in the pits. A lot of the people in the back of the field are going into the pits now. And it looks like all the people in the top 3 are pitting. With the current trend in tire compounds, it looks like they should be using soft tires. And it looks like they have put on... No, Mr. Cowpox has put on hard tires. This is very different from what we've been seeing. Destructively now in the pits. It looks like Waffles is also in the pits, putting on the soft tire compound. So many drivers now pitting for a one-stop strategy. And it looks like Noble has passed the real Body Boy. Noble now in P1. Oh, and just as I say that, Noble pits along with Andrew, giving Mr. Cowpox that P2 position. It looks like the Mad Gamer had a little spin right there and flipped over at the start of the main straight. Oh, there was a driver just on the main straight who spun a bit. Oh, that's clearly Garrett spinning on turn 1 on that sand patch right there. Niorna, who actually has a lot of luck right now, currently in P3, number 33. Let's check his tires. Yeah, he's on new tires too, so he's in the podium positions. He's pretty far from Mr. Cowpox, but if Mr. Cowpox makes a mistake, he will definitely overtake him. Oh, and it looks like JC Jazz has passed Niorna for that last podium position right there. A huge battle between JC Jazz and Niorna for that last podium position. This may last for a long duration of time. Only 5 laps into the race, 14 laps out of 19. Actually, not 5 laps, 6 laps, sorry. If we look at our leader, the real body boy, currently holding that fastest lap and the first position. Five laps to go now. It looks like JC fell back a lot, and it looks like JC and Tyler are actually battling. Niorna is ahead of both of them in P3 with around 2 seconds ahead of. That gap has just dropped to only 500ths of a second. Niorna has to hold on to this position right. So it's a three-way battle for P3 between Niorna, Tyler, and JC. It seems as if the first two positions held by the real Body Boy and Mr. Cowpox are far ahead. Oh, and Tyler hitting that bump right there, slowing down, losing a lot of time. It seems as if JC is catching up to him as they're approaching the back markers. Oh, and it looks like Niorna dropped all the way back to P5. Tyler taking that P3 position and JC taking that P4 position. Here we are on board with Niorna. It looks like Andrew is catching up to the pack. Looks like Niorna dropped down a ton, now 6 seconds behind JC in P4. Does not look like he will be coming home with a podium position. Only 2 laps to go as the real Body Boy starts his 18th lap. Oh, someone just crashed right there. I'm not sure who that was. I just saw a glimpse of a car flying in the air. Oh, and there's a car who stopped on the track right there. I'm not sure who that was. It's on the main street. Oh, and Waffles is going backwards on the track. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. It looks like he's stopped on place at one of the turns. Here we are on board with Mr. Cowpox in P2. It looks like the real body boy started his final lap of the race. When we thought all hope was lost for this driver in this sprint race that just happened before this, it seems as if the real body boy has really shown some redemption right here, taking home a possible win for his team. Oh, and it looks like Destructively is out of the race. I see him back in the pits. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's in his garage. Real body boy now in the last sector. As I just say that Waffles has retired from the race. Coming now on to the final straight. He's definitely redeemed himself for a win here at the feature race in Greece. And he's turned around. Just waiting for him to cross the line, and he has. The real body boy wins the feature race in Greece. Mr. Cowpox on the main straight right now. Coming over the P2, and there's a car right there who just spun. I'm not sure who that was, but there's a car who just hit the wall right at the start of the main straight. I believe that was clearly. The last few drivers coming around the corners. So there you have it, the real body boy coming home with a win. And it looks like Niorna only came P6. Niorna had a chance at a podium position right there, but he only came back in P6. So everyone has crossed the line now. Once again, here are your top three. The real body boy in P1, Mr. Cowpox in P2, and Tyler Morgan in P3. Just waiting for the drivers to make their way to the podium.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons. It's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what all the ancients said, it's what they warned of, it's what we're dealing with. They're demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay? I'll just say it. Make fun of me all you want on CNN or wherever, but everyone already innately knows this. These people are not frickin' humans, okay?
Here is Tyler Morgan in P3, Mr. Cowpox in P2, and the winner of today's race, the real body boy.
You'll never defeat the human spirit. You'll never defeat God.
Once again, very exciting race we had today at the international circuit of the Salon. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today's race. We want to thank all our members. So that's it for today. We'll see you all at Great Britain.